Hi, my name is Alex Fenske, and I'm the team leader here at Keller Elite. What I wanted to talk with you about today is a way to train people in your organization that doesn't take up all of your time. Now, there's kind of a catch-22 when we're looking to add leverage to our business by hiring another person. It's a necessary must along the path to growth, and yet we always find ourselves in this position where I'm so busy, I can't keep up. That's why I need another person, except the path to go and finding another person and then bringing them on and training them is going to take even more time that I already don't have. So how am I supposed to do this? And we oftentimes find ourselves stuck at a ceiling because of this catch-22. So what I hope to show you is there's a model, a proven model of how you can effectively train somebody that doesn't have to take up all of your time. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. This model is originated from the Keller University training program, and KWU has consistently been ranked the #1 training company in the world. So I didn't make this up, yet I have adopted it, and I do use it, and I see how powerfully it works and how little time it can take. The first step, there's 3 steps to the way you can train somebody in this method. And the first one is called role model. So I'm going to write that up here. For people who are going to learn a new thing, they have to be able to see somebody doing it who's really good at it. They have to be able to see it in action, right? And so it's really important to show them what it looks like when it's done. This helps them see what the eventual outcome should be for them and the way it should look when they do it. So I'll give you an example. When we teach our new agent introduction class, where we're teaching agents how to start their real estate business, it's called Ignite. And in Ignite, in the very first class, one of the most important things, probably the most important thing we do, is teach them how to start picking up the phone and calling the people in their network to let them know that they're in real estate and they're in a position to help them now. And naturally, people are usually pretty apprehensive about doing this. It's uncomfortable for them. They didn't realize this was part of the job, and yet it's the most important part. So what we do first is we have a script that's a proven script, and we'll read that for them. So we'll deliver the script to the room so that they can hear what it sounds like when a pro does it. That helps them a lot to be able to see it. So that's one example. You could think of tons. They need to be able. This could look like shadowing. If somebody follows you around doing what you're doing, they need to see an example of what you're doing. Now, if they're shadowing you, they can actually document it. If you don't have it documented yet, for example, you go on a listing appointment, you have someone shadowing you, maybe you're like a human being and you haven't actually documented your whole listing presentation like you know you should have. Well, if you don't have it written down, they can write that down as a part of their training, okay? And that's going to help them remember it too, and it's going to help you document something that you haven't put down on paper yet. So that's what role model looks like. So that's step 1. Step 2 is role play. Now, in role play, they need to do it. They need to take the action. They need to do the task. In my classroom example, they need to make the call, except they need to do it first in a safe environment where they're not afraid of failing. Because if you go straight from them seeing someone else doing it all the way to them doing it for real, they've never practiced it. And like we often say, you know, doctors don't practice on live patients, they practice on cadavers. So you wouldn't want to turn somebody loose and have them being all a bundle of nerves because they've never actually done the thing they're going to do, and now it's a live, real situation. So we want to have them practice in a safe environment. My classroom example is you're going to pair up with a partner, and you guys are going to practice this script together. For the listing appointment example, what you're going to do is have somebody, after they've shadowed you, they're going to do some practice ones. They might do those with other team members, other script partners that they work with, other agents in the office, whatever it may be. But they're going to practice it in a safe environment, and they're going to practice it a lot, not just once. You're going to have them run through it a lot until it just becomes natural to them. Then the last part is what we call real play. In the classroom example, this means they pick up the phone and they actually call people. Now they're in a classroom though where you have an instructor who's listening to them. And so you have somebody when they hang up the phone who can still help, right? Because they're still brand new at it. So it's important to have somebody there that can still sort of help to guide them, though they are actually doing the work with a live client. For the listing appointment example, you're going to have them conduct the listing appointment, and you might just sit next to them and keep your mouth shut the whole time. And then afterwards, you guys can talk about how it went. But in the real play scenario, they're doing the work, and you're probably still around to watch them and observe them. Um, that way, eventually they do it completely on their own. And yet you've gone through a gradual process where they see how it's done, they practice it in a safe environment, and they do it with you there to observe. After that, they're home free. So right now, what I'd like you to do in order to put this model into action is to think about something in your business that maybe you still do and you're ready for someone else to start doing. Take a second, think about what that is. Once you have it written down, I want you to then write out what these steps look like. So take your real example and write down what you'll have somebody else who it's going to be, and write down what they're going to do to observe you in action, to look at a role model, what they're going to do to role play it, and then how they're going to role play it with someone there observing them. The last thing I'll add is that these things don't necessarily have to be done by you. For example, if when it comes to an administrative or operations person, if you're a fantastic agent, you're great at sales and you're terrible at paperwork, you probably don't want to have them role modeling. You don't want to be the one role modeling for them. Here's how to write a contract. You might want to send them to your managing broker's contract class or the MREA operations manual or something like that, somewhere where they can observe someone who's really great at that activity. So that actually becomes even less work for you if you can direct them to another resource that's not you, where they can get some of the role modeling done. And you can, of course, do any combination of that. So by now, I hope you've identified a task, project, or activity that you're ready for someone else to start doing. And you've written down how you're going to role model it for them, how they're going to role play it and real play it with you before you finally hand that task over. Now, if you make this a habit in the way that you teach people, you'll find that they become proficient at the tasks and projects that you're leveraging out to them, and it's not going to take you a terrible amount of time. Hopefully this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.